Welcome to Mortgages and More, your go-to podcast for the latest insights in the mortgage industry. Join us as we dive into expert advice, unveil actionable tips, and learn how to empower the next generation of home buyers. Get ready to elevate your knowledge and make those property dreams a reality. Let's get started.
Happy New Year, everybody. We are day 5 on our 30. It's now 30 plus in 30 plus instead of 30 episodes in 30 days. I think we're up to 35 episodes, but this one is going to be fire, Kyle. Pure
I can't
fire.
wait. I can't wait. So in January of this year, it may have even been December of last year, I get a DM from this person that's like, hey, we're both speaking at this event and I love what you're doing and I'd love to connect. And it was Kayla. And it's fitting that what she's writing about in our book is the way her and I ultimately connected. Because what happened, Brian, was she DMs me 6 weeks or so before the event. And so when we see each other at the event, we've already had these back and forth through Instagram. And so it wasn't like, oh, hey, maybe I know you. Hi, nice to meet you. It was like, hey, bear hug. Like, we're friends already. And at this event with hundreds of people, she was the one person that stood out to me as like, does she know everyone here already? Like, how does everyone know her? And it is because of her intentionality to not just use social media to post crap, which is the way most people use it if they use it at all, but to truly use it as a connection point and a way to get into other people's lives and truly build relationships. And so, Kayla, you are so good at what you do. You're on the A list of who we wanted to be a part of this. I can't wait to have people learn from you. And so give everybody just a little sliver of what you're going to teach about in your chapter.
Well, first off, thank you for such a wildly wonderful introduction, because I didn't know all of that. You know what I mean? It's how you impact people. You don't even know how you're affecting people. So thank you for that. I'm honored to be here. You guys have a massive amount of talent that's coming on to this podcast. So I'm honored. It's really cool to think about how we can get a team of people to collaborate and to really help others, next gen loan officers be better. And so one of the things that I've been asked to do is contribute a chapter. And although it's so hard to condense things into such, a small amount of space because we have so much to say, but Kyle, you hit it. It's so often that we hear you need to post this and you must have better video. And the questions that you find are, well, should I be hiring a professional videographer? And do I need a ring light? And people get so caught up in content that they forget about the other side of social media that's often just not spoken about. And that is about engagement and relationships. And just like you can walk into a networking event, just like you and I did. We walked into SocialCon together. We walked in, you can connect that way and then have connections with people virtually later. But we are forgetting that there's this powerful piece, this powerful tool, and it's connecting with people, even though you might not know them personally face to face. And so the chapter that I'm writing about is all about interaction, engagement, and creating relationships by virtual hugs and virtual handshakes, even without meeting those people.
Wow. It's going to be so good. And even let me just tell people this. So like we found out, Kayla and I did through social media, Brian, that like we both love the show Suits. If you haven't watched it, it's unbelievable.
It's on my list. I got to do it.
And it's so good. And so now, like just the other day, she sent me a picture of one of her dogs. She has 4 of them wearing a sweater from the show Suits that obviously I'm going to appreciate as a fellow fan of the show. And and so it's such an easy, like in the moment, it feels so stupid, But those are the things that draw us to one another, right?
Mhm.
Like that's what if we both lived in Fargo and we were having coffee,
Mhm.
we would be talking about that. Not, did you see what rates did today? And did you
Right.
see what? And so it's the stupid, borderline ridiculous things that I think we really tend to connect on the most. And so Kayla, I'm just so excited for you to teach people about it because you do it at such an unbelievable level.
Thank
And
you.
and you remind me of the servers that this is weird. I'm not relating you to a server at a restaurant, but think about the subtle things that like when a server doesn't have to ask you what you're drinking
Mm.
because they remember.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It leaves a mark.
Mhm.
And so for Kayla to be able to remember amongst the hundreds and hundreds of people that you have relationships with on social that Kyle is a fan of suits, and so he'll appreciate my dog in this sweater. It's that subtle thing that's like, that's why she's my person.
Oh man, thanks, Kyle. It's
So-
easy to when you are really intentional and you're authentically curious about people and you listen and
Yeah.
you notice what they're doing and the things that they're posting about. It doesn't have to be just about their career. They might post, you guys know, Brian knows I have 4 dogs. You know I have 4 dogs.
Yep.
Why is that? Because I post about them all the time. And so it's this thing where you can post about things that are not about mortgage or real estate but still create connections, authentic connections where people want to know the real you, not necessarily Kayla, the mortgage lender. They get to know Kayla, the dog mom, Kayla, this, that, the other thing. And it's so easy if you just listen and pay attention.
So good. So is there something, obviously there is, that you didn't have time to write about that you're still greatly passionate about that you think the industry needs to know or do better?
There were a couple things that, because it's so intertwined, right? I speak about social media and there were a lot of things that I want to touch on, from being scared to post because of, the fact that there's this fear and this judgment that happens, and the internet's forever, from content creation. How do you think about content? I just, talked about not having to post about, just your career. Talk about your son's soccer game. Talk about the animal shelter that you volunteer at. And in that, it's also correlates to what I spoke about right away, is engagement and the ways to engage. So I gave a few tips in the chapter, but it goes above and beyond that, where you can have so many ways of connecting with people that might seem silly, but I talked about it at SocialCon, and you also mentioned it in your book, Kyle, like your birthday. How when you look at your Facebook wall and it's happy birthday, Kyle, happy birthday, Brian. But then when you get a video of someone singing to you, how that just makes you like, oh my gosh, what is this? So, talking about things like that, those are the things I didn't get to speak on in the chapter, but are wildly wonderful tips that people could use.
So that the birthday thing is something that I've been doing for like 2 years. Between Facebook and LinkedIn, I see everybody's birthday every day. So every morning for about 20 minutes, I look at both platforms, but then I don't message people on the platform happy birthday. I send them a separate text. So it feels, for them, it feels like it's, oh, Brian knows my birthday, not because of LinkedIn or Facebook. So, and every time people react, right? They're always going to, oh, thank you, or, whatever. So it's those little things, but it's the intentionality and being intentional, but being genuine as at the same time.
Exactly. You're spot
That's
on.
why you hit over 30,000 followers on LinkedIn today.
Bam.
Woo! What a number. Nice work, Brian.
Yeah,
I don't know how many are
he's
bots.
big time, Kayla.
Wow.
I think there's a lot of bots in there. I got to go clean out.
That's okay. Bot or not, 30,000. Wow.
Get us out of here.
Well, Kayla, you are awesome. Your chapter is going to be awesome. We're so honored to have you say yes to this for us and for the industry. Can't wait to publish the book in early February. Thank you for being you. Thank you for coming on and sharing a little bit about your chapter. And everybody else, come back tomorrow because we're doing this one more time. Well,
that's right.
30 more times.
At least.
See y'all.
Bye, everybody.